Every morning, before your feet even touch the floor, your hand reaches for the screen. Not because anything urgent happened, not because someone needs you, but because your body has been trained, conditioned to check. You don't even notice it anymore. The buzz in your pocket, the red dot on the screen, and somewhere deep inside you, something quiet breaks a little more. A 2024 study from IDC Research found that 80% of smartphone users reach for their phone within 15 minutes of opening their eyes. Not after breakfast, not after stretching, before a single conscious thought has even formed, the screen comes first. And for most people, this is not a choice. It is a reflex. Here is what no one has the courage to tell you. It is not the messages themselves that are slowly unraveling you. It is something much deeper. It is the fact that you are always available, always reachable, always on. And your body, your actual physical body, knows exactly what is happening, even if your mind has learned to call it normal. Researchers discovered that people who check their phone within 5 minutes of waking show 31% higher cortisol levels, the body's primary stress hormone, 90 minutes later, before you have eaten anything, before you have spoken to anyone. Your stress response is already fired, all because you looked at a screen. And this is not just about mornings, this is about the entire texture of your day, because the interruptions do not stop when you put the phone down. They echo. Every hour, something pulls at the edge of your attention, and each time, a tiny piece of your presence is stolen. The average person receives 46 push notifications every single day. 46 interruptions, 46 tiny fractures in your attention, 46 moments where the outside world reaches in and says, "Hey, do not forget about me." And over the course of a year, that is more than 16,000 interruptions. But here is where this story takes an unexpected turn. Because the weight you are feeling right now, this exhaustion of being perpetually available, is not a modern invention, and the cure for it has existed for thousands of years. In 1654, the French philosopher Blaise Pascal wrote something that reads as though it was written this morning. All of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. 370 years ago, he diagnosed exactly what is destroying us today. He did not know about smartphones. He could not have imagined push notifications or group chats. But he understood something fundamental about human nature, that we are terrified of stillness, that we will do almost anything to avoid being alone with our own thoughts, and that this avoidance is the root of our suffering. And long before Pascal, entire civilizations built their wisdom around one practice. Buddhist monks in the 5th century practiced noble silence. The Desert Fathers fled to the wilderness for quiet. The Benedictines codified silence into daily rule. And the Quakers built worship around sitting together in stillness. All of them, across cultures and centuries, arrived at the same conclusion, independently, without ever reading each other's texts. Silence is not the absence of something. It is the presence of everything you have been too distracted to hear. And when you finally stop running from it, something extraordinary happens. Modern neuroscience has confirmed what the monks always intuited. Researchers found that after just 3 days of sustained silence, participants showed measurable growth of new brain cells in the hippocampus, the brain region responsible for memory, learning, and emotional regulation. Silence does not just calm you, it literally rebuilds you. Now, pay close attention to what comes next, because this is where it gets genuinely uncomfortable. The damage of constant reachability goes deeper than cortisol or notifications. There is an invisible chain you are wearing, and most people never realize it is there until someone points it out. In 2023, researchers published a landmark finding in Frontiers in Psychology. They identified something called telepressure, the compulsive urge to immediately respond to every digital message the moment it arrives. And they found it is one of the leading causes of burnout, sleep disruption, and the chronic inability to psychologically detach from work. But here is what will truly unsettle you. The exhaustion you feel, It is not coming from the messages themselves. It is coming from the waiting, the anticipation, the knowing that at any second, someone could reach into your life and demand your attention. That alone is enough to keep you from ever fully relaxing. A study published by the British Psychological Society found that people who were simply on anticipatory availability, meaning they might receive a work call but had not yet, were measurably more tired, more tense, and more unwell than those who were truly off. The call never came, but the damage was already done. Let that settle in. You do not need to answer a single notification to feel its weight. Just knowing it could come is enough to keep your nervous system locked in quiet vigilance. When was the last time you were truly unreachable? When was the last time no one could interrupt you? And this is not confined to any single nation. Digital burnout is now recognized as a global crisis. From Tokyo to London, from São Paulo to Seoul, from Berlin to Mumbai, the same pattern repeats everywhere on Earth. More connectivity, more availability, and less inner peace. So here is the question that all of this has been building toward. What if the most radical, most courageous, most quietly revolutionary thing you could do right now is to become unreachable? Not as an escape, not as a rejection of the world, but as a homecoming to yourself. Researchers found that approximately 2 hours of accumulated quiet per day, not all at once, but spaced across your mornings, your breaks, your evenings, is enough to produce measurable improvements in stress levels, focus, memory, and emotional well-being. 2 hours. That is all your nervous system is asking for. Not a 10-day silent retreat in the mountains, not a monastery, not a dramatic digital detox that lasts 3 days before you give up. Just 2 quiet hours, scattered through your day like seeds. 2 hours where nothing buzzes, nothing blinks, nothing pulls at your mind. 2 hours that belong entirely to you. The Buddhist teacher Thich Nhat Hanh once wrote, "Silence is essential. We need silence just as much as we need air, just as much as plants need light." He understood that silence is not a luxury for monks and mystics. It is a biological necessity for everyone. You were never meant to be this reachable. And the moment you truly understand that, something inside you begins to untether. The ancient monks knew it. The philosophers wrote about it. Your own body has been whispering it to you every single day. So tonight, try one small thing. Put the phone in another room. Sit in the quiet and listen to what has been waiting for you in the silence.